In this video, I'll be addressing a question from our community. Here's one way to do it. Let's try it out to see how it works. Here I have a date picker, and below it I can see the date that I've picked. Underneath I have the current date, which is automatically generated by TextBlaze. My snippet compares the two dates. If they're different, my snippet will give me the date selected in the date picker. But if they're the same, I get the word today. If you just want the snippet, you can grab it directly from the link in the video description and copy it with a few clicks. Once it's in your dashboard, you can use it as it is or edit it to your liking. But if you want to learn how to build it yourself, keep watching. Here's the text version of my snippet, and I'll be replacing these sections with TextBlaze commands. The first tool we need is a date picker field, which allows us to choose a date. Next, we need a function called today, which produces the current date. Functions need to be inside a formula command. Here's how that's done. Let's have a look at the Preview tab. Note that your date formatting might be different based on your localization settings. If that's the case, don't worry, I'll show you how to format your date output later in this video. Now, we need a way to compare these two dates. The first step is to give them labels, or form variables. For the date picker, we can click on the command and fill in the appropriate field. This creates a form variable which can be found in the command sidebar and inserted anywhere in my snippet with a click. The formula command works a bit differently. Here's a quick but very important note. When I look at the preview again, the output for today's date seems to have disappeared. This happens because the output has now been assigned to a form variable. If I want to see the contents of today's date, I just need to click on the form variable name here. Next, we need a way to compare the contents of our two form variables and tell TextBlaze how to behave when our two dates are identical. We can do this by using conditional logic. This is where we'll be setting up the condition to test. Notice that the form variables we created earlier are conveniently listed here, so we can use them to build our condition. For the results, I'm going to use some placeholder text for now. In human language, we're asking, is the chosen date the same as today's date? If the answer is yes, give me this output. Otherwise, give me this other output. Now that we've set up our conditional logic, we can customize the output as needed. In the first part, I'm going to write today. In the second part, I can use the form variable for our chosen date. And here's the result. If I want my date to show up in a specific format, I can use another function called dateTimeFormat. I just click on the command, highlight the form variable name, and find the function I need under the Date Functions menu, or by using the search field. TextBlaze automatically inserts the form variable inside my function and sets up a default format, which I can customize anytime. You can find a full list of supported date and time formats in the help site. There's a lot more we can do with this snippet. For instance, I can add one more condition that checks whether the chosen date is one day after the current date and insert tomorrow accordingly. To do this, I'm using this function to subtract one date from the other and get the result in days. If the result is 1, I know that the chosen date is 1 day after today's date, so tomorrow. The same can be done for inserting yesterday, but this time the result needs to be -1. As always, the help site and gallery pages are packed with loads of examples that you can import and use right away. And make sure you visit our community for ideas and inspiration from other users like yourself.